Welcome back. This is the conversation, and we're looking at the alarming rate of medical tourism in Nigeria. First off, health is wealth, and everyone needs that to survive because the human nature oftentimes require help to make it function better. However, in recent years, the conversation has been at how much Nigeria has lost its medical personnel, the facility infrastructure, as well as whether government policy has aided or, in other words, has also subverted the cause of Nigerians getting the help or medical attention they need. According to some data, Nigeria lost about 2 billion, between 1 billion to $2 billion annually to medical tourism. I recall that in this administration has also ramped up employment with medical officers in 774 local government. But how far has that gone considering the number of medical personnel that Nigeria has lost due to perhaps better welfare condition or infrastructure to perform their duties? And of course, during COVID, it was even more prominent. The alarming rate is what we're talking about today. It also became prominent in recent days, since Sunday, when we heard about the loss of our former President Muhammadu Buhari, who died in a London clinic on Sunday. As to why wasn't he treated here? He should have done much more to having that kind of facility here in the country, as against having to travel, spend foreign currency, put pressure on the naira. Well, I am not a medical expert, but I've got one in the studio here. He's the first Vice President of the Nigerian Medical Association. Please make welcome Dr. Benjamin Olowo Jebutu. It's a pleasure to have you join us in the studio this morning.
Thank you for having me. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Doctor. Josh quoted a particular figure during his intro, and that figure for me is quite huge. Yeah. $2 billion annually on medical.
I think it's very conservative.
Even with the figure?
It's more than that, yes. It's very conservative. It's about 6 to 7 billion, actually.
Then I'm wondering how we got to this level. What are the factors responsible? And would you blame those Nigerians who are traveling abroad to go and get medical care, looking at the poor state of our facilities here?
I would blame Nigeria as a people, then the government as in particular, that you've not provided the basic thing for health. Normally, one of the basic things in rights is education, is health, and I don't think the government has done well in that regard, because if you spend the taxpayers' money for your personal health care because you have access to it abroad, and you don't do what you're supposed to do to make that kind of thing happen in this country, I think it's not the fault of the people, it's the fault of the government, because the people don't have the money. The money that the people pay, taxpayers' money, goes to the government, and the government are the ones to use the money in better places they should be. I think first things first is that government should be accountable and should be patriotic enough and say that this is what we want to do. I don't think we should have so much of what we call verbosity, or too much what I want to do. Just speak a particular field of endeavor. Health affects 230 million Nigerians, and let's say I want to fix healthcare in 8 years. What did every of this government do in eight years? Which particular one did they fix? Security? No. Education? No. Health? No. Now, that hospital that the president died is not just a clinic. That's the name of the hospital. It's called the London Clinic. Yeah. That London Clinic is a very, very, very expensive private clinic. Like very, very. So if you don't have you must have a British passport to even go to the clinic, because it's very, very expensive. Now, it takes government, it gets people that are very, very rich to access healthcare. So you can imagine in your head, just think about how much of foreign exchange, how much of money in dollars or in pounds the Nigerian government has spent to take care of the former president in that clinic. And juxtapose it to how many lives he might have touched in this country if we had to fix just one healthcare and say, okay, I want to build a world-class presidential hospital in Nigeria, even in Abuja. so that everybody in this country, the top echelon guys, can access this thing, because I feel responsible for the people of this country. I think it's important that we don't just come do a lot of rhetorics in politics. Let's take one particular field and tell ourselves as politicians, I want to do this for this country because I want to help my people, not just rhetorics. I felt pain that the foreign media, if you see how they exclaimed it, they said, and the former president died in the London clinic, capital letter, because obviously they believe that for the love of your country, you should die in your country. Jimmy Carter died in America. Jerry Rawlings died in Ghana. The great Nelson Mandela died in Joburg in South Africa. Why is our own president dying outside the country?
I don't want to go into the propriety of that, because if you have the money to travel to go seek help, I think you have a right to.
No, if you have your money, not taxpayers' money.
We have not proven that, have we?
No, obviously no. Okay,
moving on. According to World Health Organization, recommends that at least 13%, and of course the African Union members also said, look, we should have at least 15% of the national budget dedicated to health. I noticed that Nigeria in the past couple of years has significantly increased it from about 2 to 3% to about
4.8% actually.
4.8%. The figure shows that we're doing, as at 2005, 18% of our budget. It would translate to about 2.48 trillion to about 47 of the 47 trillion budget that we have. Does that translate to what you see, being a practitioner yourself? Does that translate to what you see? And the Minister of Health seems, who is also a technocrat in a way, you're smiling already. For some people feel that he has brought like a new lease, is committed to ramping up employment of doctors, education, nurses, and that value chain of health practitioners, or it's just what we read in the papers?
I like the fact that we do a lot of talking in this country. We're very good at talking. We speak a lot of great English. We like to extrapolate things that looks like it can work, but I don't think implementation is equal to our talking. Number two, I don't think people are genuinely in love with the country. It's about the paraphernalia of the office that they think the nature. You know Nigeria, when you become like a top guy, it's not like a rank a day, like you're like the top. So you can say what people want to hear, not what people will do. So for me, it's about how many doctors are paid properly, how many nurses are paid adequately, how many people are you say you want to employ 774 doctors in local government. Are they there? Where would the doctors live? Is there an enabling environment for them to live in those places? Is it a place that people can actually stay? Have you looked at the place yourself? Have you seen that this place is viable for human being to stay? You don't just post people and say go and stay in one place in Kafanchan, or one place in Zonkwa, or one place in Agege, and think the environment, does it enable the person to live properly and think functionally, think well? So we even if we have signed the Hippocratic Oath as doctors, we have life to live. We have families to take care of. Our children must go to school. But imagine that the salary review of doctors was reviewed in 2014. So the people are getting the same salary from 2014 till now. Even you as a journalist, as a broadcaster, you can't be taking the same salary in the last 11 years now. Think about it. But
you'll be shocked.
But you want doctors and nurses and health practitioners to stay in the place and say, love your country, love your country. But you yourself, you don't even love the country because you have ear pain, you have headache. Next thing you're off to wherever, you're off to America, you're off to Paris, you're off to London.
Don't you think the narrative is changing? Because I've seen so many people coming into the country.
Because why? Why are they coming to the country?
Setting up their own facility because government is providing enabling environment.
So the reason is this: basically, there's population here. This is where I look at it. There's some drugs that is used in America or in London or in Western world that cannot work for us in this country because our genetic configurations are not the same thing.
Okay.
I believe that our research point as Nigerians, as Africans, we need to increase it. That's what I think the ministries of the government should be looking at. What are the local cultural perspective that helps us as a people to get better? You know, people talk about one leaf somewhere, one thing somewhere that is working for them. Have we done research? It's okay, this leaf, what is particular about this particular leaf that makes Nigeria different? You know, look at what happened in China. China, they say China, they're the longest living people, 120 years old. Why? Because they've done what we call internal research. This is what works for us as Chinese, and they stuck to it. Not copy and paste policies that happens in America and London or happens in the Western world that you think you work in this country. No, because a lot of us, because we are not accountable. Who are the government accountable to? We voted them in now, but are they accountable to us? No. Somebody just sits down and says, no, I want to, this is what I feel we should do for this country. No, there's no research-driven policies, there's no research-driven surveys that help us articulate clearly what our plans are for this country. Look at doctors, look at nurses. You have one doctor to about 10,000 patients in this country, and we keep talking, and you keep people keep leaving the country. Why? Because they have greener pastures. Can I shock you, my brother? The people that our government officials go to see in those climes
Are Nigerians.
are Nigerians.
Yeah.
Why? Why the Nigerians? We are very, very sharp people. We're highly intelligent, we're highly skillful, but they've developed a very good enabling environment to make their think or research. And they have sophisticated equipment to work with.
Okay.
But you cannot invest those money
Yeah.
to make this country more sophisticated. No, now.
All
It's
right.
painful. Josh, it's very painful.
We know that it is very, very painful.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
if I'm an individual like Joshua cited the other time, and I have the means to go abroad and get
If
medical
it's
care,
your money,
if
you
it's
can
my
go
money,
now.
Fine.
But don't use taxpayers' money and go there. It's not good.
Okay.
You let people know that when you pay tax to Nigeria, it's tax for Nigeria. Not take the taxpayers' money in billions. So you convert, how much is the dollar now? Let's say 1,560.
I didn't spend dollars, so I wouldn't.
No, I'm telling you, as of today, 1,000,
516.
1,516. That's $1. So to now, imagine how much you're going to pay in Naira for that very expensive London clinic. Do the math yourself now. It will feed about maybe 10 million people every day.
Okay, the fact that we are lagging behind in medical research and technology, are these some of the factors that is pushing people out there to go and seek medical care?
Yes.
That is one. Then how do we address this problem? Joshua did say that people are coming into the country to invest. So what we normally see over there, why can't we replicate the same thing here and make the system function?
We don't love ourselves. Trust me, we don't love ourselves. The government just loves power. They don't love the people. They keep telling you, love your country, think about Nigeria first. They themselves don't think about Nigeria first. If a chairman of the local government says, I want to use the PhD clinic in my office, in my area, every day, that's love. Then you have identified with the people, which means everybody in the environment, okay, that means if the chairman can use hospital, then I can also use it. But when the chairman has a small headache and says, no, I'm on the next flight to Malaysia or to Indonesia or to America, it means that he doesn't even trust the system that he's investing his money in. Number two is that we have not developed a culture of accountability. And says, okay, if I give 1 billion naira for healthcare, who is taking the money? Who is accountable to what the money is used for? Where is the feedback mechanism? So, okay, if I budgeted this money for this, is it actually done? Some administrators just do what they want to like with the money because there's nobody they're accountable to.
So someone listening to you now will feel that maybe because you belong to a pressure group, the Nigerian Medical Association.
We're not a pressure group, we're just a professional group.
That's what I'm saying. And you compel government at every turn, especially when they don't really kowtow to your poho, as far as medical conversations are concerned. You feel that you've not seen anything good that this administration
I didn't say
is doing.
that.
Okay,
I have said.
Since you haven't said that, then maybe I can now ask the question.
Josh,
what do you think they've done
Yes.
that you think that perhaps can set us on a path
I think
progress?
direct investment in healthcare has improved. I think people are seeing the numbers. People are seeing that 230 million Nigerians is a lot of numbers, population explosion that can help create niches. You know, now at least now we have one PET CT scan in Nigeria due to direct investment. Not even not in a public hospital, it's in a private hospital.
Private, of course.
You know, but I think we have six. Let's say we have 6 geopolitical zones in this country. It means that we should have at least one in every country. Well, one in every geopolitical zone. You know why? Because that will help us see cancer very, very early and get people treated on time. But you know, but I can
so
say,
how do you feel when some people say, look, doctors, especially doctors trained in this part of the country, are not patriotic enough, considering the numbers of or how much you spend being a medical doctor in the country vis-a-vis what your counterpart in other climes spend, and as soon as you finish, when you don't pay little or nothing to study medicine, heavily subsidized by the federal government, and you feel like the next place to go is where you can get maximum return on an investment that you didn't literally do.
I like when you analyze things like this. I really enjoy it, Josh. It's very good. But the point for me is heavily subsidized, yes, we agree. But you know the amount of work we do in medical school, the amount of sacrifices we make. Sometimes there's no light. You know how happened in UCH when they still have to go on strike, to get light, to read, to work, to go to see patients, to go to clinics. The stress we go through is a lot. We're also human beings. Think about you spending six years minimum, there may be 9 years because of strike in school, where your other mates are already finished, you're already married, having children, you are now waiting, you're now trying to catch up. People want to try to catch up with their lives quickly and say, okay, where can I get it sorted? But some of us have said no.
Yeah, because I was going there, I was saying, you're here.
We can't leave this country. You know why? We believe that we have a role to play in fixing the country. Because all of us cannot leave. I love family, I love Nigeria. I am addicted to this Nigerian dream. Some of us are also addicted. But what we are now saying is that people that we are staying here, help us make our life more reasonable, better for us. Make us feel good, make us feel loved, that out of 50,000 doctors that Nigeria has produced in the last few years, only 35,000 are living in this country and practicing. Some are dying, some are dead, some are older than 70, they cannot really practice. So we have about 25% doctors to about 200 million people in this country. Look at it now. So we need you, people like you, to help us have this conversation that Nigerians, we know that the reason why we are giving ultimatum to government, the reason why we are doing this agitation is because let them see us as also individuals, not just demigods. We're normal people to that, have life. Let them pay us properly. Let them give us welfare, insurance. Somebody dies now, the wife and the children, they are gone. Nobody thinks about them. I believe that if one doctor dies, they should be given what we call national burial. You know why? When one doctor dies in Nigeria now, that means you have 10,000 lives not going to be seen. I believe that we should do better as a nation. Help us.
Okay, in doing better as a nation, the crisis that we are facing in the health sector, which is pushing people to go out there and seek medical care, is it enough for us to declare an emergency? That is one. And what are those elements that you feel government should put in place, long-term, short-term, for us to address these issues?
Number one, I think there should be a law that every politician should not leave the country after 5 years. 5 years when they come in, so all the money stays in this country. But
even if I have my private business,
I say politician,
and I can afford it.
I say politician.
I know.
You're not a politician now. You're a broadcaster.
Okay, even if
Jibola is a politician. Yeah, Jibola is a politician. Nobody can tell me that it's not.
Even as a politician, if you have a private business that you run and you can afford it, why can't you go outside the shores of the country?
So that's called law for the country. So law for the country means that you invest the money in this country and stay in the country. That's law for the country.
That's
why people like Bill Clinton, that's why people like Bill Gates who stay in their country and not seek out outside the bar, but they have money. But because they want to improve the economy of the country, they stay in the country. That's law for the country. So if you believe, that's how I've said in the for all, that if some of our billionaires will say, okay, let me use my CSR and adopt one hospital, one teacher, say, okay, let me adopt this hospital. teaching hospital. Let me give back and make that hospital like that hospital I usually go in Dubai or go in America. Let me just show love clearly. But you know why? A lot of people want the fast money. They will not invest. Healthcare is not like money spinner immediately. They go to oil and gas, they go to banking, they go to where money can come, telecommunication. But for me, you must show love to the country. But who will drive this love? It's the government. The policies must drive that. Okay, please, if you have money, invest in this hospital, adopt it. We'll give you tax waivers. Doctors now, if every of our allowances is taxed. If government says, okay, let's help let's help these health workers, give them tax waivers. Give doctors, give nurses, give healthcare workers tax waivers. That means what they will take home will still be handful. But now you increase money by 1.7%, you take tax of about 10%. Who are we deceiving?
Don't worry, the new tax law will help address that.
Amen.
By
Amen.
January.
Amen. I like your faith.
No, but that is
Josh,
the new law. It has been signed.
And I'm like you. You know, sometimes when laws are signed, it's in the paper. Most times the implementation and follow up and feedback.
This implementation will happen in January,
Amen.
according to what.
Amen.
So, because we need to go. Just in the line of what you've talked about, as to perhaps adopt a kind of law or maybe a bylaw that will speak to 5 years if you're a politician, then adopt a particular hospital.
Then I need to say something before I go. You need to understand. Okay, like the welfare of police is governed by Police Service Commission.
Yes.
The welfare of the judges, the Judicial Service Commission. I think it's not time we started having what we call an Health Service Commission that purely takes care of the welfare.
We have Health Service Commission in Lagos.
No, we have in Lagos. Yes. We have
insurance.
We have in Lagos. We have Lagos. Lagos is Lagos now. Eco for sure. We are always leading in Lagos. Yes. Lagos and the Lagos Healthcare Commission takes care of the welfare of healthcare workers, and it takes off that parameter from the Ministry of Health. I think maybe the Federal Ministry of Health is overworked with technicalities, a lot of work and everything. They should just take out an Health Service Commission that takes it purely life of doctors, life of nurses, healthcare workers' life, and insurance, take care of the healthcare force. It helps us look at it clearly. Okay, this is what we need to do. And number two, let's take out health from the concurrent list to an exclusive list.
Why do you want to do that?
You know why? The kind of funding security gets, the kind of funding railway gets, the kind of funding we get ammunition on foreign trade is amazing, is much. So if we take that kind of funding to healthcare and make it exclusive, I think we'll do better in this country.
But we're talking about democracy, where federal government is trying to devolve powers to the states.
The point is this. No. So obviously you can make it also, there can be another law to make state do their own. But I'm telling you, in this country, if the federal government does not lead the change will not happen.
Okay, we need to go. And my final word is, so perhaps the starting point, low-hanging fruits, for all this your submission. Where do we start from? What do you tell the minister?
Let the government pay us our arrears. Let the government tell National Salaries and Income Wages Commission to withdraw the obnoxious, scrupulous circular that was released on June 27. Let them pay us arrears of 18 months. Who works in the world and is owed salary for 18 months is unfair. Help us beg government. Help us, Josh. Let them pay the money. Because we cannot guarantee industrial harmony if these things are not done properly going forward. You know why? People are tired. I lost 2 friends yesterday, medical doctors, working hard. Who cares for their family? Who cares for their children? People are tired. Help us as journalists, great people. You guys, they listen to you. Beg government. Make these health workers live well in this country. Let them not keep dying anymore.
Well, you're looking well. Because
I try to be well. Inside me, I'm not well.
Okay, so different strokes for different folks. So our appeal is everything he has talked about, because we also need attention of our doctors. So I think that settles it. I want to say thank you very much, Dr. Benjamin Olowojebutu, First Vice President, Nigerian Medical Association, for joining us this morning. I'm sure government is listening to you.
Thank you,
and they will pay attention, because not all of them can fly out of the country. dollar, the exchange rate is something else.
Yeah, but now
altogether.
it's not 1 month visa, so they cannot go again.
Maybe that will actually set our brains working very well. So we'll take another short break. Lagos team standing by, ready to kick off after this break. Don't go anywhere.